Oh, hi! You must be here for my rational equations video, where the questions are getting pretty nasty to us. We're used to solving equations with fractions by cross multiplying. We can only cross multiply if both sides are fractions, but we have a big boo-boo problem right here. A big boo-boo problem. On the left-hand side here, is this side a fraction? No, it's two fractions added together, so I can't cross multiply. That is so sad for us. Luckily, Mr. Aneri is here to save the day and teach you a cool strategy that can solve this equation. And the trick is this. We are going to multiply every single term, this term, this term, this term, every single term by a magical number that will make all our problems just melt away. And that magical number is the lowest common denominator. So if you were to add fractions, like a third plus a quarter, you would look at these bottom numbers, the denominators. See, denominator. I've got 3 on the bottom of this fraction and 4 on the bottom of this fraction. What is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4? What's the smallest number that 3 goes into and 4 also goes into? It is 12. So whenever you're solving an equation like this that has two fractions added together, write down what the lowest common denominator is, which is 12. And we are going to multiply this fraction by 12, this fraction by 12, and this number by 12, each term. Let's see what that looks like. I have my original equation here that I've copied down. You can see I've got lots of spaces here because I'm going to add some things. I'm going to do the same thing to both sides so that I'm not making a big boo-boo. And the thing that I'm going to do is to multiply each term, each side, by 12. In other words, this term, the x divided by 3, boom, multiplied by 12. This term, the x divided by 4, shazam, multiplied by 12. This term, 7. Yes, of course it is, of course it is. Wham! It's multiplied by 12. This equation looks a lot messier than this one, but they are the same. They have the same solutions. Okay, cool. So the next trick is that we can cancel common factors. We can simplify these fractions. Do you notice this fraction here? You can think of it, by the way, as the 12 being on the top, if that makes life easier for you. You can imagine, actually it's the same, it is the same, as 12 times x and the answer divided by 3. That's the same as getting the number 12 multiplied by the fraction x over 3. And the trick is we're going to cancel common factors. I've got a 3 on the bottom and and a 12 on the top. Is there a number that goes into 3 that also goes into 12? Yes, it is 4. No, it is 3. 3 goes into this and 3 goes into this. So I'm going to divide each of these numbers by 3. 3 goes into that 4 times, and if I divide this by 3, I'm just left with 1. There's nothing left there. So 3 goes into 12 4 times. Over here, I can also cancel. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Okay, cool. So I divide 12 by 4 to get 3. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So the bottom of the fraction just disappears. Dividing by 1 doesn't do anything. And on the right-hand side, I can figure out the answer to that too, but maybe one step at a time. This right-hand side, 12 times 7, is 84, so I can replace that with 84. In the first term here, it's a bit completely annihilated, hasn't it? The 3 is gone, the 12 is gone, there's a 4 up here. What is the only stuff left in this equation? The only stuff left is 4 times x on the top. On the bottom, there's just nothing left. Dividing by 1 is left on the bottom, which doesn't do anything. So this is just 4x. And then I have my plus. And then here, the 12 is gone, the 4 is gone. I'm only left with 3 times x on the top. Again, you can imagine really is a divide by 1 on the bottom. But dividing by 1 doesn't do anything. So you can just delete a divide by 1. It won't change it. Okay. So 4x plus 3x equals 84. The trickiest stuff is what we've just done. This single line of working is insane. There's so much stuff happening there. So take your time, rewind. There are other questions that I'll show you as well. But that's the hardest one. From here on, we're on easy street because we've solved these questions so many times before. 4 lots of x plus 3 lots of x. Those are like terms. I have 7 lots of x equals 84. I've got x has been multiplied by 7 here because there is an invisible times sign. What's the opposite of multiplying by 7? Dividing by 7. So x equals 84 divided by 7. And then copy down, therefore x equals 84 divided by 7 is 12. So I might pause the video here and then do the other questions, just to show you the other questions. These ones in the next slide. But I just want you to take a moment to pause and reflect on what happened here. The lowest common multiple, and then I multiplied each term by the lowest common multiple, lowest common denominator. If you're not sure about lowest common denominator, then you'll want to practice that first as a bit of a tip. Okay, I'll show you these ones in the next video. Good luck, everyone. Bye.